What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 3 of my Total Warhammer 2 modded Mazdamundi campaign. So as we saw last time, after a massive battle against a bunch of Skaven, 10,000 strong, we were able to take the Fallen Gates and destroy Clan... I forgot their name already. It's Clan Nob, just judging by the fact that this is a destroyed clan over here. So that was a pretty awesome battle, but now we have our two first provinces all complete, which means we want to basically sit here for a little bit of a while and build those up so that A, they can defend themselves, i.e. Not fall if something looks at them wrong, because I mean, look, that's pretty pathetic, and otherwise to be able to make enough money to continue building various things up. In fact, we don't need this here. Alrighty, now, we also will need to probably do something about this situation. We know that the Hunts Marshal's expedition will attack us, and I guess we sort of want the Monument of the Moon. Now we could move here. Oh, wow, by land? No, we should probably move here by water. Actually, is that any faster? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then probably 5 versus 1, 2, 3... and possibly 4, depending on if you can land here immediately. Alright, I guess we could do that. And my reasoning here is that these guys are at war. They're going to attack each other eventually. So we could basically sail around gathering islands, and as soon as this army is dead or gone, attack the Monument of the Moon over here. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if it survives quote-unquote contact with the enemy. Anyway, I believe that's it for this turn, so we are going to end it unless we have any new followers or anything to add. We do not. Let's end the turn then. Alrighty, and now while that is going, I do want to address a couple things. There were some comments talking about the a mod that respecs for when eventually Confederation comes around. I assume that this is referring specifically to the one-button respec mod. I do remember trying out that mod to try to fix an issue with... the hell? Where'd that army go? Did it die, or is it out here? Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I did try to use that mod to fix an issue. I believe it was with Arcan in the, well, Arcan campaign, and it didn't really work. I also took a quick look at the workshop description of that particular mod, and there were some comments about it causing ancillaries and mounts to disappear. Now, imagine if we were to confederate somebody like Croc-Gar, and we couldn't have Grimlock because of that, because it made him disappear, or it made his unique items disappear, or something like that. That would be wrong. Let's face it, a Croc-Gar without Grimlock is just wrong. So you guys let me know what your experience with that particular mod has been, in terms of it working properly, and it properly giving you the amount of points that SFO should give, because SFO gives more points than the vanilla, unless I'm mistaken. It does give 2 points on various early levels, right? So yeah, I just don't know. I haven't had, I didn't get the experience I wanted when I tried it, but hey, maybe it's better, or maybe that was because Arcan had some issues himself as well, with lacking a few points. Anyway, let's continue. We are going to get a technology. Growth. Ooh, hello. Alright, I was about to say growth is probably more important, but this will give us a lot of trade earlier. You know what, let's go sequence of coexistence. I don't even need to look at the other ones just to see how important trade is for our early econ. Now, you're going to sit here for one more turn. I think what we want to do is we want to build up a couple more units. So let's go for 2 more skink cohorts and a skink cohort with javelins. Not a full army, but getting close. I don't want to build swords because they're a little bit on the expensive side. Is there anything to upgrade here? Oh, Fallen Gates we can get. We could go for the Spice Market, but 50 money versus 200 money. I gotta go with the 200. And then I guess afterwards we'll have to get a barrier here, just so Sildred Tor doesn't take that territory. Afterwards, 2 turns. Yeah, see, the public order here is kind of problematic. You know what, let's switch to alignment of order to get public order, makes sense. And then here we're actually okay, especially while Mazdamundi is sitting in the sitting in Port Reaver. Actually, I see a level here as well. Alright, let's get you leveled up, Mr. Cricket. We are gonna go for, I guess, Wound Maker. I mean, Scarred Veteran is probably very decent, especially when we have the Carnosaur, but as we don't have it yet, we might as well start at 1 point in Wound Maker and then go for Deadly Onslaught after that. Okay. I believe that's good. Let's see what's gonna happen over here. Ideally, these guys will kill each other, and then we can come in and steal all their territory. And yeah, especially with the growing great power, as we saw in the last episode. They just fought. And your army just died. What happened to your full stack army, though? Huh. Ooh, and now the Huntsmarshal's expedition is fighting the Spirit of the Jungle. Hello. Now that's interesting. Hopefully the Spirit of the Jungle loves us for attacking that, and we can have Nakai on our team. Alright, Mazda, you are not going to build any more troops. Since that army is now dead, it looks like Monument of the Moon is a free take. I like that. Let's go. How's our money looking? Not amazing, but, you know, something. And, wait, what? Why can you still move? Complain about it, go. Hit Monument of the Moon next turn. I would have liked to have actually killed Silostra and gotten whatever buff you get for killing her, but it's okay. I'd rather just delete the faction. Now, Skink Favelas, we need to build you. You are still in alignment of monuments, so we have that reduction, go. Plus the marble reduction, which is amazing. And then we'll have another Skink Favelas to be built here, and then... Oh, if only we could afford these upgrades. 2 of these upgrades, damn. Well, we're gonna get more money out of this, and then maybe another Skink Favelas out of here, so yeah, fine. Also, we've encountered the Cult of Pleasure. They've taken the Moon Shard here. Alright, so sooner rather than later they might attack us. Maybe we will take this just to, just sort of link up with Alethanar and then ally with him, and then he can hold the north for us. Maybe. I know that this is red territory, but I do see that they have iron, wine, and wood here, or timber here, plus the ancient city of Quintex. So this isn't a bad province, per se. Especially if we're going to rely on a lot of trades with the High Elves. Anyway, I do believe... Ooh, you know what we could do? If we were to pop the Rite of Ferocity right now, which, granted, does not give us much, but hey, it does give us research. It only costs 1,600, which would... complete this quest, Rite of Ferocity, and give us back a 3,000 gold. It's kind of a waste of the actual ability, and we read this last time. You know what? I think I'll take the extra gold. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll be able to upgrade a city off of that. Or do we do it next turn and instead get 2 more favelas? 1 here. Oh wait, no, we can't get a 1 here rather, and then 1 here. Each of which will be bringing us an extra 200 money. It's probably more worth it to do that, but we do want to get these upgraded right away. You know what, we could upgrade 1 and then leave the other one. Yeah, let's do that, fine. Rite of Ferocity immediately. That should complete the quest. And it'll help heal up if we take any damage here. Alright, next part of the quest. Sunburst Standard of Hexuatl. Capture 500 battle captives. I think we can manage that one. If only we had had that when we were fighting the Skaven, because that would have been like a single go. Anyway, the ritual is set. The essence of Chotek has been summoned, but from whence will it come? The plaque alluded to the next step. It is an act that pleases Mazdamundi greatly, for it aligns with his personal interpretation of the Great Plan. Captives must be sought, their blood not yet spilled, although that will come in time. And when it does, knowledge of the radiance of Chotek shall be revealed. Alrighty. Makes sense to me. Mazda likes Chotek, and let's see. Settlement upgrade available. Let's go for... Well, we have a favela going here, so let's get a favela going in Port Reaver as well. There we go. And then I guess... yeah. We should have enough to build 1 or 2 Skink favelas, depending on the cost. Anyway, let's end the turn. Let's proceed to the Monument of the Moon. Ooh, hello, look what's happening up there. It looks like Morathi is actually taking some ground. She's attacking Sildra Tor, which I guess she starts at war with, and that's her, since it is her starting province. And an army here. And it's Silostra herself. Oh, that's perfect. Now, we could grab this mysterious island, but I no longer recollect whether the mysterious islands are the things that that have a battle right away, so I'd rather immediately attack Silostra here. So do this. And then let's land at the Monument of the Moon. It looks like we could have actually had enough movement points to get this. Whatever, too late. Too late now. Faction encountered Awakened. Really, how the hell did we encounter them? Oh, they've gone all the way up here, eh? Okay. Okay, Undead aren't doing too bad. We also need to be careful about Ashok the Bloody instantly sinking our fleet here. Anyway, favela time. What do we have here? Kilns, ooh, 100 money as well as 20, out of Swamp Town, eh? Favelas. And then, we can't afford a second favela, unfortunately, it looks like. Unless we could get some money from somebody, but I don't see anybody who would give us money for anything that we can do right now. Fallen Gates really needs to get a garrison ASAP, because it's going to be guarding against this. I mean, alternatively, we could try to destroy the Huntsmarshal's expedition. It looks like Wulfhart is back at the Temple of Kara, and then after destroying it, moving back and taking that province. Hopefully they don't declare war on us at the same time. It's up in the air. Anyway, let's attack Silostra. Go. Declare war. Yes. You can't land? You can't land here? Really? Why can't you land? Low. Well, that's stupid. Oh well, if you can't land... Really? You can't land with half of your movement for... Okay, well. Better on campaign, or... You know what? If we're gonna fight a battle with Silostra getting extra units... Fortified Grog. There we go. Curse of Cannibalism. Regeneration. Dragonfly of Quicksilver. Vanguard Deployment. It's kind of useless. At least I can't think of a good use for it on Mazdamundi. I mean, maybe when he has his various spells and stuff. Alright, well, hopefully we can do that next turn, because this is so dumb. We still have movement remaining. Oh, well. At least the cannibalism, quote-unquote, curse... Oh, I just realized. Agitate the spawning pools is only one turn. Okay, we need to summon a hero. Or a lord, rather. Recruit Lord. The Lord... Yeah, you. Skyrider. 247. You will not cost us any extra money because we unsummoned you previously, so you're coming back. We'll get those 15 alignments, and then we will move out here. Did that quest not give us any alignments? Oh, well. Oh, well. You can have Root March and Aspiring Presence. I don't know whether you can make any use of them. And in fact, what is your... Oh, right. Skyrider. Yeah. If we ever get an Air Force only sort of army, maybe we'll actually keep you around. I'll think about it. Depends on how many Slann we can actually get in our army, or in our under our banner. Let's end the turn. Let's attack Monument to the Moon. I was really hoping to attack it this turn. So this really hurts me. It physically hurts me. Is that another stack? Is that a full stack? No, it's just a little minor stack. Okay. See, this would not have happened if you could have landed, Mazda. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you like this? Try again, please. What? Are you telling me that... What the hell? Okay, at least he can land now, and he can fight now. Alright, casualties low. We will make this a cinematic battle because it is against the Legendary Lord who will be dead after we're done here. We will have to watch out for the bloated corpse. It would be really unfortunate to lose a unit of Temple Guard to a freaking bloated corpse. Just before fighting this, so I'm going to encircle Monument of the Moon, and I just want to see what's going on up here. Alright, you are still fighting this stuff, eh, Morathi? Why would you have the full stack not belong to Morathi? Anyway, somebody commented in the last episode that to build up relationship with various elven factions, what you could do is raid the Dark Elves up here, and since they all hate Morathi, we can certainly do that with... wait, can the Lizardmen even raid? I guess we could trespass, but it looks like they might not be able to raid, eh? Enemy Vanguard deployment for certain units. They legitimately not have any raiding stance? That's a little bit odd. I know channeling isn't. This is just an astromancy stance. Well then. You know what? Let's just repeatedly trespass them. Let's see. Trespassing is currently -20. Now, if you do it multiple times per turn, does that still debuff? No, it's still -20. Alright, you can just sit here and ambush so they don't know you're here. You're costing us 257 points per turn just to do this. Are these guys liking us for trespassing? Yeah, see, every trespass is going to be +1. Honestly, that's not really much. Might not even be worth it. I really just want those trade agreements. They'd all give us trade agreements if we were to, say, join war against these guys. What we could do is maybe join war against Sildra Tor, Iron Spike, because Morathi will destroy it herself. that might not be a bad idea. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go back here in the Fallen Gates. You have a garrison, so unless there's a full stack here, which I doubt, I'm gonna risk it. Who has a better trade agreement? Try this. You will give us 264 per turn, you will give us 237 per turn. Awaken, well, no, we don't want to. Okay, so basically it's just you two. 237, 264. Ooh, and you're quite weak, Illyrian, eh? You're having a bad time against the Scourge of Cain. Alright, fine. Join war against the Drowned. No. You are not at war with Soldier Tor. Well, damn. We could join war against these guys, but what if they sail down and attack us? I don't like that. Okay, fine. Are you at war with them? Yeah, you are. Alright, well, that decides it for us. I just assumed that they would both be. You, Soldier Tor, trade agreement. And non-aggression pact.
Impossible.
Really? Really? Come on. I had a plan and everything. Trade agreement.
I agree.
At least there's that. It'll be worth it, eventually. Now, let's get more favelas everywhere if we can afford some more, let's say, here. There we go. Another favela. You are rank 3, right? Yeah, you are. Right there, and then Fallen Gates, we can't afford anything because we have no cash. So let us fight our first cinematic battle of this episode. Monument to the Moon versus Silostra, Direfin, and let's attack. Alrighty, here we go. Silostra, Direfin, and her army. Now, this is a pretty interesting army because it does have 3 bloated corpses, well, 2 here and then 1 coming in as reinforcement. That could destroy our freaking Temple Guard unit. I am very, very worried about that. So obviously we are going to try to target these bloated corpses, but we can see that it doesn't actually do a lot of damage even when it does connect, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to deal with this somehow. The worrying thing is that the range on the Javelineers is not enough to actually kill these units before they jump at them, I think. So, yeah, maybe we'll have to try to have our Lords run at them to force them to suicide against Lords instead. I guess we'll see. There's also a Morngul Haunter on the field. These guys are always pretty threatening. I do love the unit. And here we go. I think they only have a single unit of a depth guard. Let's just take a look at what the formation looks like. I didn't really take a look at it. We had the skirmishing line of Javelineers in the front, as well as the 2 Basties with solar engines, just to maintain max range and firing on the enemy. We have the 2 Temple Guard units in the center with Mazdamundi himself, and then on the sides we have 2 Skink cohorts and 2 Skink cohorts. Each Skink cohort is supported by a Feral Basti and the Kroxigors, 2 of our more elite units, and the reason I did that is because obviously the Temple Guard do not need to do any kind of support like that. Also, we do have our 1 Saurus unit, which is over here. I sort of kept it back, waiting to see who would be better served, which portion they would need to reinforce, and it looks like with the depth guard here, this is what we're gonna do, is with combination of the Kroxis. Obviously, if these are depth guard with polearm, they would wreck the Kroxigors if they didn't have the support of all these meat shield units. Plus, it's very appropriate to have Kroxigors fighting together with Skinks, as they are in the same spawning in the lore, and they have a special relationship. Man, I'm always so ambivalent on the depth guard. They look so cool, and like their animation. I mean, look at this freaking thing. Their animations are awesome, but they're always so weird in their performance. Sometimes they get like hundreds and hundreds of kills if they're left alone, but then they melt so quickly to range fire. It's a very interesting. A very interesting unit. I remember in Vanilla there were a lot of complaints about them, but I think in SFO they're in a pretty good place. But they are always fun to watch. Let's see, like their stats are really high with 100 armor and 50 melee defense, but they're still fairly fragile. Although it doesn't look like they're as fragile here. Clearly they're surviving against the Kroxigors, although obviously the Depth Guard are pretty adept at doing something like wrecking Skinks. They're amazing at clearing out chaff infantry. Now We are going to drop a Lizard Dome down on this portion of the battlefield because I am more worried about the depth guard than anybody else. Over here we have a set of Skink Javelin cohort, and they are going to hit this unit of, I believe this is a Deckhands mob. Yeah, Deckhands mob right in the side, which should make some decent use. I suppose I could have moved this unit here and hit them more in the back, but there was unfortunately an enemy unit of Deckhands mob and a unit of Gunnery mob coming out of this forest here, which was a pretty nice little flank. Probably made it more so the right decision to get the Saurus infantry here. It seems like there's a lot of holding the line in this campaign so far, like against the Skaven and now against the Undead, which is pretty nice. The Lizards are pretty adept at it. Over here, the Temple Guard are being hit by a whatever you are. You are another Deckhands mob, and you are going to have a bad time. Ooh, there we go, bolts of the old ones. It's such a lovely effect. I love the extra particles that just like explode in various directions, and it hit right in the center of these two Deckhands mobs, and it looks like it's going to take them out. We also have the support of the Skink cohort with javelins. This is what I would typically use the Empire infantry for, where you get to like a sort of checkered formation where you fire between the mobs of your infantry. Not as used to doing so for Lizards, but hey, it certainly works. We don't have anything like we don't have the regular Skink skirmishers to do this, though, so we just have the javelins, but hey, they can still do it fairly decently. Unfortunately, after that explosion, it looks like a lot of our units got knocked back and sort of closed this gap here, but hey, that's okay. Silostra is actually keeping back and I guess casting stuff, which is unfortunate for us, but because she's ethereal, it's going to be kind of tough to destroy her. We do have magical damage on the Blessed Basties, but they would have to use their ranged attacks. Their melee attacks are obviously not magical. And then, well, obviously we do have not Lord Croak, but Mazdamundi himself to apply melee damage. I'm actually curious to see how he would perform in straight-up combat against Silostra. At least without Zlak. Alright, looking pretty good so far. We are still holding the line. I haven't committed Mazdamundi yet. Over here, the Morgul Haunter is just completely unharmed, doing whatever it wants to these Skink units. And then over here, we have these freaking units of bloated corpses. They are so damn annoying. And oh, did I miss it? Yeah, okay, so what happened is I tried to kill the other bloated corpse, and it actually hit one of these units of Skink cohorts, I think. This one, I believe, should die. Yeah, there we go. That one actually died before it exploded. The other one did manage to make it through. I guess I was watching the other part of the fight, unfortunately. Damn. Oh well. And it did attack these guys, but while it did hit one of our units of Skink cohorts, we can see that they're still alive with, what, 25% HP, but they were at the same time fighting a pair of enemy units which got almost completely destroyed by that bloated corpse. So the enemy actually sort of, I don't know, played into our hands there by accident. Otherwise, this battle is going pretty well. I believe that we're not going to have any crazy amounts of casualties here. Another bloated corpse coming in, but this time they are... it's chasing these Temple Guard units, so what I did was I sent Mazdamundi to sort of head it off and prevent it from hitting the Temple Guard. He just leaps into his floating chair and explodes. This is like a it's funny because it's like him smashing into the freaking chair. It's like getting hit by a car. Mana's like, what the hell was that? Man. And then over here, he can now attack Silostra, I guess. There we go. I don't think she signed up for this. Surrounded by Temple Guard, plus Mazdamundi himself. Oh, that is a cool effect, though. And now we also have a Basti coming in. She is down to less than half HP, and it looks like her army is just about ready to run. These Death Guard are actually still alive over here, fighting for their mistress, I suppose, but it looks like they are starting to disintegrate. But I'm very, very impressed with this unit of Death Guard. They held on, they did half damage to this Croxivore unit, and they badly mauled several of the other units here. Now, it looks like Silostra goes down, and the various other forms that are left on the field are going to collapse. The Morgul Haunter, left completely unharmed, is going to be the last unit that is left. You gotta love these units, though. They're also such a cool model. I will admit I'm a little bit biased for our, towards the undead, but nonetheless. And over here, they did have a gunnery wight, and I did summon the Terminators to kill the gunnery wight in typical fashion. I suppose what I could have done is summon them to stop the bloated corpses, but you know what? That actually did work out fairly well, so I'm not unhappy with how it turned out. Anyway, Morngul Hunter, you are the last unit of this entire faction, in fact, because it will die as soon as you're done. And the entire army is now coming for you. I mean, this was always going to be a pretty easy battle. So it's not surprising we didn't have too many casualties. I just wanted it to be a fight because it was against the Legendary Lord. It says close victory, but I think this is one of those game things where it's absolutely lying. Because, yeah, we took a bit of damage to a couple of our skink units, but it's not horrible. But you know what? Let's find out. Let's see how much damage we've actually taken. Alrighty, there we go, and just like that, the last song of Silostra has been sung. We did reasonably well. I'm a little bit disappointed with how difficult it was for the solar engines to bring down those damn bloated corpses. This one did manage to get through and get 77 kills, although I believe it got a lot more kills of its own allies than of us. It didn't even fully delete the unit that it exploded, so I'm very much impressed with the Depth Guard, which is, I mean, Morngul Haunters, generally impressed with them, but the Depth Guard have always been such a weird unit. They're either super impressive or super unimpressive, right? Because they're really fragile on the one hand, but they do a lot of damage, so yeah. But obviously with 25k damage is quite high, and I think it actually beat most of our, if not all of our units in terms of damage. It actually just barely edged out in beating Mazdamundi, and exactly even kills. So it performed the same as Mazdamundi did, and that's with considering the fact that we had a full unit of Kroxigors as well as a unit of as well as our Saurus Scar veteran smacking them around. So good job to the Depth Guard. A nice final stand for you. Not so much for Silostra, who only did 4,200 damage, but hey, you can't have it all, Silostra. There we go. And we shall occupy the Monument of the Moon. And it's Winds of Magic starting. Oh yeah, that was really worth it. Okay, I am glad that she appeared right before the faction was destroyed. Imagine not having had that buff for Mazdamundi in particular. Honestly, this feels like a buff we should get on all of our Slann, but now, unfortunately, she will not be back. And we got another Trickster Shard. Oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Did we steal this, or did we just randomly gain this? I feel like she had this item, but regardless, that is going on Mazdamundi. Damn. Very, very nice. Alright, that was super with Tim the Porous. Alright, and I say this nearly every campaign I encounter the Vampirates. They have the best names. Every single one of them, well, not every single one, but every single one of the campaigns that I've encountered them, I've always found some incredibly funny names. And Tim the Porous is like low tier in terms of the funny stuff they usually get, so... Anyway, Iron Curse Icon, you're going to be replaced by the other Trickster Shard, minus 25% magical resistance. Especially when we start moving into the fray on Zlak, that's going to be a huge difference. Alright, now, what do we have here? We have the Curse of the Midnight Wind, we have Net of Amantog, Apotheosis. We already have our Slann Force. Oh, we're at rank 9, which means we're holding points for the Ruination of Cities. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough, we'll hold the points. Absolutely key to get Ruination of Cities. And since the faction has been destroyed, it looks like their other army was in fact destroyed by the Huntsmarshal. Alright, and our money is also looking fairly good. We will get a Skink Favelas. Now, did the Elves like us more for killing that? Doesn't look like it. Damn. I just want some more trade. Alrighty, well, Fallen Gates, we unfortunately cannot afford to get a Skink Lookout here, but... if we forego any upgrades, we would be able to get it next turn. I would really like to get that. Although the problem there is that if these guys really wanted to, they could just sail out of Moonshard and instantly hit the Ziggurat of Dawn, which obviously cannot get the upgrade. Now that we're in Ward of Iron Spike, though, I think we have to get this The skink look at him. We could always delete it later after we've taken, if we decide to take this province. Plus, then we would not have to have a wall at Ziggurat of Dawn, because we could just have one at Moonshard and one at Skeggy. But we have no choice but to have one at Skeggy. Alright, well that pretty much clinches it, so unless Alifa Nar manages to do it himself, we will have to go after Marathi after the Hunts Marshal's expedition. Alright, who's he at war with, by the way? Is he fighting anybody else? Oh wow, he's fighting Defenders of the Great Plant, Talaxla, and Spirit of the Jungle, okay. All the other little lizard factions. I'll certainly take that. You, however, are going to get yourself a level up. Ooh, we can go... We'll have to choose one of these, eh? Alright, so 20% charge bonus for the entire army is pretty darn nice, I gotta admit. Alternatively, constant around self -8 melee defense on enemy lords or heroes. So this turns him into an assassin. It gives him around self affects allies in range. Constant. Wait, affects allies in range. Cannot target if enemy unit is lord or hero. Unit is lord or hero. Isn't this kind of like the opposite of this? Minus 10% base weapon damage, minus 10% armor piercing damage. I'm confused as to how this works. Why does it affect allies in range? I think it's just an aura. Oh, it's a hex. With a 30-meter range, but it's constant. Okay, okay. And let's see. We could get a massive amount of increased... Missile resistance, casualty, replenishment rate plus 10. Is it for him only or for the entire army? I think it's for him only, just because it doesn't say Lord's Army. So this basically makes him a better single-target fighter, whereas this reduces Temple Guard cost. Nice for an army that's going to have a bunch of Temple Guard. Spawn Leader, this buffs your allies. Combat Reflexes, Saurus units. I assume that this counts Temple Guard, or does it? If anybody knows, please let me know, because Temple Guard are Saurus, but here it says specifically Saurus Infantry and Temple Guard. I hope that this counts all Saurus. I hope that this counts Temple Guard, rather. I don't really care about the melee attack and ambushes. I think we're just going to go Sacred Adornments. Apex Hunter and stuff, making him a Lord Killer seems good, but if he's going to be on a Carnosaur anyway, he should be fairly decent at that. Plus, we might replace him later. We probably will replace him later, I should say. Oh. Now here's the question. Sacred Adornments or Deadly Onslaught? I like the splash attack power additional. But this buffs everybody who's nearby, yeah. Yeah, fine, do this. Do this. Sacred Adornments. We're obviously going to lean into the Temple Guard here, and you are going to hold on to those points. Unassigned skill points, we don't care. Money we will keep in order to get a defense over here at the Fallen Gates. You can't move anymore, so we are going to end this turn, and we are going to proceed down to the various remaining human faction. Oh, damn it. To the Hunts Marshal. He is not. There are no other human factions here since we destroyed the New World colonies. And Skeggy. This is the last human presence in Lustria. Alright, now you cannot reach this in one go. You could reach it in two. We should probably heal. This is a shared sea, though. Do we say aloud and do this? I mean, we're gonna attack him, because he's gonna attack us. We're doing this preemptively.
Agreed.
He's probably gonna have a full stack at the Temple of Kara by the time we reach it. Can we get any more skinks here? Yeah, we can. Okay. Well, let's hope that the same thing doesn't happen where we can't land here. That would be unfortunate. Or do we just... If we go into March stance, we could skip that. You know what? Fine, let's not risk it. Let's not risk the sea. If we do this with a single March stance, I think that we can pull this off. Like, this will go 1, 2, 3 turns. If we could do this in 2... I don't know that we can. But let's find out. Screw it. Screw it. And then we'll head Pahwaks immediately after that. Okay, now money to be spent. Fallen Gates, that's you. Let's get your skink lookouts. Do we have construction cost reduction? No, we did not, but it is only 5%. Oh, it's 10% now. You know what? I think we'll save that. Let's make sure that we get the reduction. We can build a skink favela and we'll still have enough next turn. In fact, we could build another skink favela upgrade. We can't upgrade the Lizardmen Plaza because we won't have enough. Wait, 1850. How much does this cost? 2,600. Might have just barely enough. You know what? Let's risk it. Upgrade the Shrine of Sotek. I can't do math, so I'm not gonna properly do the math. Alright, there we go. Keep on making that money. How about you guys? You guys like us now because we're trading with you, right? You're the ones we're trading with? Yeah, how about a non-aggression pact?
Stranger. Quite impossible.
Okay, well then why don't you go to hell? What about you guys? Oh, they actually don't like the treaty with Turanor. So they're not going to trade, are they?
I cannot do this.
It's okay, in a mere 2 turns we will have an upgraded relationship with everybody. You're going to trespass here again. Keep annoying these guys. There we go. Trespass complete. Go back to where you came from. That's kind of silly, but hey. Unassigned skill points, that's fine. And let's end the turn. Let's hit the High Sentinel. Ooh. I don't like how the units of Marathi, or the armies of Marathi, are sort of milling around up here. It's making me nervous. Alrighty, now can we hit you in a single go? No, we can't. Damn. Alright, well, we'll just go right, let's say, here then. And then we'll hit you next turn. Sea has become stormy. Alright, and we will go into encamp stance and we will heal up. And we will build... Do we do this right now? I was about to say, we could also... Ooh. Just realized we should drop one of our star readings. You know what? Let's do it right now. Star reading. Economy. And buildings. I want to get that building reduction because we're suffering in terms of money. Minus 30% for all buildings for 25 turns. Yes, definitely divine architecture. The Lizardmen rejoice and give great offerings at the temples. The temple cities grow and prosper. Yes. Right, there goes our alignments. We just drop below 50, unfortunately, but we'll go above it next turn, so that's okay. We don't have any other quests that we can do. We will... Wow, this is taking a while. Okay. Now with that reduction of cost, this will now cost 10 and 30, which will only cost 1,600. Oh, that's very nice. That is very, very nice. Definitely got to make use of that. We'll upgrade these skink favelas next turn as well. We can also upgrade these ones. Yeah, they're so cheap now. Love it. I love it. Keep upgrading that. Build that econ. That's a really strong early game buff, isn't it? Oh man, this is almost a full stack already. And he moves out of the High Sentinel. What the hell, guy? Why would you do that? Why would you ever do such a thing? Oh, well, we gotta retake the floating pyramid. We can't have these guys sitting there. And there is the relationship bonus. This is Marcus Wulfhart. He really has 2 full stacks, basically, with 1 province, really? Okay. Brutal business. Base weapon damage plus 20. Oh, wow. That's kind of concerning, just by virtue of the fact that these guys might have some decent units in their armies, but whatever. You. And if we could just level up to the ruination of cities, that's all we need. Too bad these are all undiscovered. I would have liked to have asked them to join the war and then maybe gotten something out of it, but whatever. Let us upgrade some favelas. Not here, though. Here. Yes. Or barrios now, rather. Hexoatl. Wait, do you have... Oh, you have the construction cost, yes, but you're at -4 public order. What are you at? You're actually good. A little bit on the expensive side, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's still an extra 100 gold per turn. Gotta build up that econ. If these guys declare war on us, they can't hit us in a single go. So maybe if they move here, what we could do is we could summon our blessed spawnings. I'm very concerned about this. Alright, well, we'll see. We will see. Research rate. Or research, rather. I guess growth? Ooh, campaign. You know what? Campaign... Growth or campaign movement range. This would both be really helpful. And so would the upkeep, obviously. And so would the construction cost reductions. To combine with the construction cost reductions that we have. Everything's so good. I think we gotta go with... You know what? We don't have the money to make use of growth yet, but after 8 turns we probably will. So let's do growth first, and then we'll do movement range. Alrighty, and I believe that's it. Let's get to it. Time to attack the Hunts Marshal's expedition. Hopefully I don't come to regret this. Here we go. You shouldn't have disliked us so much, buddy. Oh, and there's that full stack, eh? I mean, this is going to be low casualties. I really wish we could preemptively see how much casualties. Now, do we fight this to try to avoid casualties, or do we just auto-resolve? It does say low. I mean, this is going to be a pretty pathetic battle. I'd rather save the cinematic battle for the big fight. You know, let's just auto-resolve and hope that we don't suffer an insane amount of casualties. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We were just going to end up pelting them with our basties with solar engines, so do that. Minus 20% cooldown to all spells, eh? Hey, cohort of Sotek, red-crested skinks. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Now, can we use this? Oh, Power Stone or cooldown? No, I think I gotta go with the Power Stone. I think I like that better. And you are now rank 10. Rank 10, eh? So close. So close to that ruination of cities. Okay, you leveled up as well. We can actually use your point. We will go for Deadly Onslaught, and then next turn we'll go for Training. Okay, now, while we're here, I think we're going to get a couple more units. One more Skin Cohort with Javelins. And then, you know, let's get this Regiment of Renown before we attack next turn, I think. I mean, we could get it here to defend, but honestly, I don't care that much. Plus, we will probably need this. It really depends on how this guy acts. He can't reach the floating pyramid in a single go, although maybe he can. If he goes into march stance, he could go right beside it and be close enough to double army defend this. That'll be pretty interesting if he manages to do it. Alright, let's find out. I'd love to get one more battle this episode. Alithanar, what do you want? Military access. Sure, buddy. Sure. I love you. Go for it. Ooh, now that the other elves like us, faction destroyed Sildred War. Okay, our time is limited. What the hell? Did he just switch? What are you doing? Why would you do that? Did he just kill his own faction with that march stance? Because that army's going to be a lot weaker now. Amass a treasure... I didn't even realize this was a quest. Cobra Mace of Mazdamundi. The great vortex of the High Elves is under attack. For millennia, the Asur have arrogantly believed it is their magic that has sustained the vortex. While they may have put the arcane foundations in place, it is the great warding of the Slann, a massive undertaking that keeps most mage priests dormant, such as the concentration needed, that has kept the vortex functioning. However, since the comet, the great warding suffers. Lord Mazdamundi, always the most licentious of Slann, licentious of Slann, has set about rectifying this by removing the taint of Warmbloods from this realm, or his realm. Okay, unlocked Rite of Awakening. Rite of Awakening. Oh man, the expense. The terrible expense, but we gotta get our Slann. We gotta get our new Slann. Do we wait a turn or so to get more money? Oh, that's hard. That's a hard decision. You know what? I think what I want to see is how much money we make out of this and how much stuff we can build, because there's definitely some city upgrades that I would like to get going as soon as possible. Which is more favelas. Ooh, we could upgrade the Cigarette of Dawn. Whoa. Why are you here? Hopefully she attacks Toranrock instead of Skeggy. Oh, man. Can we ally with you?
So why do you seek me out?
Well, you'll go for a non-aggression pact. What about Illyrian? Will you trade with us? Still no. Still no. We got the... Ugh. Not even after the tech. Okay, fine. Is Morathi stronger than us? Yeah, she's stronger than us. Oh, man. Alright, well, we attack first, then we'll see. We'll see how she acts after this. Go. I can't believe Wulfhart did this. March stance. I'm not even going to summon the Regiment of Renown. Pyrrhic Victory. And it is Wulfhart himself as well. It's not that other army. Why did you do this? I don't understand you, AI. Well, we are going to fight this. It's going to be another cinematic battle. I am going to have to make a cut here, obviously, because the previous battle was the cinematic one, and I am going to have to comment over that. So let's get to that first. Here comes the cut. There it is, and here we go. Let's hope that Marcus marched himself to death. Alrighty, here we go. The skinks, I suppose, of Mazdamundi versus the hunters of Marcus Wulfhart. Look at them standing in a little line here. Isn't that adorable? Now, this map turned out to be a really cool setup. I really had to think whether I wanted to set up the entire army on this hill where we would hold the line, or this hill and against this wall here, so we could, you know, hold the line on that as well. And, ooh, little mini temple here. This is nice. That was nice. But anyway, at the end of the day, there was this little mini lake or pond, or whatever the hell you want to call it, here, and I decided to make use of the fact that skinks are aquatic and do get a buff when they are in the water, right? I don't remember what the exact buff is, but I think it's melee defense and attack as well as speed, unless I'm mistaken, for aquatic units. Can we actually tell what? No, not Mazdamundi. Actually, A. Regeneration, calm presence, stops rampage, spawn leader. I really wanted to see what the actual buff was exactly, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. So anyway, this is going to be a pretty different setup than what we usually do. I decided to put the skink cohorts with the javelins on top of the hill to get ready to fight the enemy, hoping that the vast majority of the enemy will get drawn down into fighting the regular skink cohorts in this water. Really nice of the map to actually provide us with this for tactical flexibility. In addition to that, we will have the Kroxigors get ready to move up and help their little skink brethren, as well as both units of Temple Guard anchoring each of the flanks so that the enemy can't sort of break through and attack our skink cohorts. Obviously, all the monsters are going to be waiting. The Bastillodons went forward to try to take a few pot shots at the enemy over here, and the reason for that is since we are the attackers here, it looks like Marcus's army was going to just sit there and wait. It does have quite a bit of range superiority as compared to us, so it was, you know, probably the smart decision, but after a few shots from those basties, they decided that they had had enough and they were going to just straight up charge us. And look at those war wagons coming. I'm taking a few shots at the bastion, not doing the crazy amount of damage, but it could certainly become telling after time. And here we go. They do outnumber us by quite a bit. So we will have to see whether the skinks cold. Once again, just like fighting the Skaven, we will also have to try to make good use of flanking the enemy formations. In particular, I think this time we will be using the skinks to do that because the basties will probably be needed to fight in the center line. Over here, through the woods as well, we need to maintain a unit of the unit of Temple Guard who have to cover a fairly large amount of ground. We'll see how effective that is afterwards. They are obviously being pelted by both of the range units as well as probably Marcus himself. We are going to drop a Comet of Cassandora on one unit, taking out half of their HP, and I mostly just want to deplete the numbers of enemy range units. Obviously, the Basties are going to fire at them for as long as possible, apply that blind debuff, and keep doing as much damage to the actual units, but there is only a matter of time until the enemy main line actually approaches us. Let's take a look at what this looks like from Mazdamundi's position. Can he observe the entire battlefield from here? And I did not mean to speed it up that much. There we go. I mean, he could see fairly well. There we go. Our skinks are going to wait, and the enemy unit there gets slowed down. Can we actually see the debuff on their speed now? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. All right. But here we go. These skinks are going to countercharge them, obviously, instead of waiting for the charge. And man, everybody... the animations are kind of silly because I feel like all the front line wouldn't jump up as high as this. And also jumping up like a man height and a half in full armor with a shield and armor. These guys have got to be on steroids, right? And they're just a regular Empire infantry. I can expect that of something like a Chosen, despite the amount of armor they have. At least they're blessed by the gods, but... and the skinks too. Like you should probably expect them to jump. They're nimble little creatures, and they aren't actually wearing a lot of armor to speak of. Most of them, in fact, not really wearing any armor at all. They just have that, they have arm guards, it looks like. Oh, no, they're not even arm guards, they're just decorations. Yeah, they just basically have that shield and their little sword deal, or their club. They're mace infantry, alright? What are they? Cudgel, close enough. Close enough. Alright, and there we go. The Kroxigors, as promised, are going to charge into the main infantry here, and this is going to go quite well, for obvious reasons. Kroxigors are pretty adept at breaking apart a unit like this. Over here on the side, I decided to commit the Temple Guard instead of moving over there in the hopes that these units would all decide to fight them. These Skink cohorts were having a little bit of a tough time. Both of them have already lost 25% HP, and granted, the enemy unit is losing HP as well, but the Temple Guard are clearly needed here. Over on the side, we have a unit of Spearmen charging through. Fortunately, the Skink cohorts are able to maintain their distance, as they do appear to have a little bit more speed than the humans. and thereby just continue applying their javelins and annoying them. We have the regular Saurus warriors who are going to tie up this unit in order to allow us to continue pelting them in the sides with javelins as best we can. Unfortunately, this line-holding Temple Guard unit has been taking quite a bit of damage over here. And over in the background, as you guys probably just saw, was the summoning of the Temple Guard unit, the deep strike of the Terminators, who are going to do the same thing that they did the first time we fought the, or the second time I think we fought the New World colonies, wherein we go right after the General and surround him. It may not have worked against the Skaven, but Marcus might not be able to break out of a melee line like this as easily. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the battle. This battle has actually turned out to be a really cool battle, just by virtue of the fact that it's a little bit different in terms of setup. Really enjoying it. And we had so much tactical flexibility here. The water, the wall, the hill, the forest. I love it. I wish more battles were like this. And especially since it's an early game battle with us having a lot of skinks and not non-elite units, it's a lot slower and more fun. I'm going to have to give this one to Wulfhart over Silostra in terms of providing us fun battles. There we go. Nice little battle line. Skinks fighting in the water where they belong. Ooh, hello. And we have one of the hunters moving in, but the Basti is dueling him. Roderick Longyi. And, oh, it looks like this unit of Skink cohort has dropped below half HP. Now, over here, this is what I was talking about. All of these Skink cohorts with javelins pelting all of these spearmen and halberdiers in the side. Really, really effective. And granted, the enemy range units are firing back on us, but we are also pelting some of their range units with our own javelins as well. Look at all those javelins get to work. Love it. And Mazdamundi is about to drop a comet on top of these units. I probably should have dropped it here, but I decided that at the end of the day, these guys were all being pelted by the javelins and thereby would probably route due to that, whereas the comet could hit these guys and nobody else was going to, you know, help out with that. Mazdamundi is also now going to commit to apply some of that AoE damage that he applies in addition to the fear or terror. Did I get that ability? I don't remember whether I got the ability for him to apply terror. Yes, I did. Nice. Good against weaker units like this. Unfortunately, while Marcus did drop to about half HP, he was just able to break out of the unit of Terminators. They do force him to commit back to the fight, though, so it's kind of up in the air whether they'll be able to bring him down. They have also taken quite a bit of damage. But otherwise, it looks like this is starting to go our way. This flank has apparently broken, and our units are moving through the forest to hunt down moving through the jungle, rather, to hunt down the humans, as per various expeditions that have hit Lustria in the past. And over here we have the center flank, which is also, the center, rather, which has also collapsed, as well as the rightmost flank. The entire army appears to be routing, and we are just going to chase down as many of the enemy units as possible. Not so much because we have to. Obviously, this is a settlement battle, and they will all die, but rather because the enemy heroes that are still on the map refuse to rout. While they're on the field, any unit that isn't shattered may come back, so we obviously have to commit as many units as possible to try to chase them and prevent them from coming back and, you know, annoying us. Wulfhart over here, I actually summoned dropped a Lizard Dome to prevent the Temple Guards from losing it. It looks like he did lose to the Temple Guards at the end. It was very close, though, so I'm pretty impressed with how much damage he was able to dish out. I think maybe he was being helped by Kalara over here. She was probably firing at them or something, because I feel like Wulfhart by himself wouldn't do that much damage to a Temple Guard unit. Killing half of them and doing 75% damage seems pretty intense. Anyway, this battle's over. I am going to speed it up. We don't really need to watch the heroes die. They will rout as soon as they're surrounded by units. I think I forgot to order this unit to actually chase Kalara down. There we go. She's routing, and there we go. Once again, it says it is a close victory. I somehow doubt it, because while we did suffer a decent amount of damage on the aquatic skinks, the flanks basically obliterated the enemy, and then the entire enemy line collapsed, and the hunters really didn't achieve as much as they probably could have. Once again, the Basties were completely untouched. It really does show how effective Bastillodons are in the early game, because so many enemies or so many factions rather lack early game armor piercing, and even when they have it, like the dwarves, they don't tend to bring it, and the AI doesn't tend to rock paper scissors it, where they don't commit like miners to attacking a unit that actually needs the armor piercing. They'll commit them somewhere else where they'll get killed, and they won't serve any kind of purpose. Anyway, a really fun battle. Loving this map. I hope we get to fight on it again. Let's see how we did. Alrighty, there we go. Once again, the game decides that this is, for some reason, a close victory, despite the fact that we only lost 350 units, and pretty much all of them were skinks. We lost, what, a little over 10 Saurus units out of all of the Saurus that we have. I mean, granted, most of our army is skinks, but honestly, this does not look like a close victory, even remotely, to me. But, however, I did find that was a pretty damn fun fight, you gotta admit. Marcus put up quite a bit more of a fight than Silostra did. Her fight was quite easy, but his made up the difference. I imagine that it would have been even harder if he had not foolishly decided to march stance here, wherein his army and all his heroes and all this stuff got destroyed. But hey, I'm pretty glad that we got to fight it this episode. Let's occupy this. Unfortunately, with that, missile resistance 15% and well, I don't really care about the missile strength, but missile resistance plus 15 on Mazdamundi. What's his base missile resistance? Wow. Oh man, yeah, a few more missile resistance buffs and he's going to be basically immune to range, which is really great because once on Zalak, with all that extra armor that he has, it's going to be really nice. But anyway, I am going to have to call this episode here. Ogres. Oh, yes.
As strong as they are stupid, but do not underestimate them. They are hardy warriors and will cannibalize any foe that dares to cross them.
Alright, I have, I don't know whether we are going to get ogres yet, but, I mean, we don't have any cavalry, so I do wonder. Might be worth it to get a couple of Mornfang cavalry. Okay, well, let's read this before we call it. This we've read, and, you know what, I guess we could read this next quest, at the start of the next episode, and same with the Ogre Mercenaries, and same with this standard thing. Ooh, the battle is up, though. Nice. Yeah, well, that is all stuff that we will have to deal with next. Okay, game, stop it. I love you too, but damn, that was a lot of stuff. Anyway, we've definitely run out of time, so next time we'll be continuing with the destruction of the various remaining cities of the Hunts Marshal's expedition. He does still have an army out there somewhere. I assume the full stack is now in the Temple of Kara, which is a little bit concerning because we basically have to choose, do we attack Pahwaks for the easy attack, or do we go down to Temple of Kara and try to take that other army? We are still hurt after all. I mean, we could summon our cohort of Sotek, which granted is not going to add a lot to this army. We don't have Ruination of Cities yet, which would have really helped in that battle, and will probably help here. If we attack Pahwaks, we might be able to get it, but we might also lose Floating Pyramid if they attack it immediately, and it is at level 2. Which I would prefer not to lose. But anyway, we'll have to figure it out next time. I actually, the standard length of time for episodes of Total Warhammer is actually 45 minutes on this channel typically, but the analytics has been telling me that there's been a lot of interest in this, so it looks like we're going to keep the hour format at least while it continues to do that. So anyway, stay tuned for the death of the Hunts Marshal's expedition next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and a rate, comment to support the channel. It really does help. As always, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.